This is Saturday, July 25th, and I'm going to embark on a big project today. I want to reorganize all of my pressure canned and regular canned foods, and it starts here. I have 2 shelves of canned foods in this guest closet, and I want to get those out of here and move them with my other stuff. I have 3 places in this house that I have food, and I'm just tired of running all over the place looking for stuff. In my washroom, I have a big, tall cabinet. Well, it's not a cabinet, but it's a shelf. And it is top to bottom with canned goods and pressure canned goods, miscellaneous little stuff everywhere. And I need to get this organized somehow with that other shelf food that I have in the other bedroom, as well as with the items I have in my closet. I have a whole nother pantry thing in my closet. I have a big tall shelf unit, same as the other, chock-a-block with pressure canned food. Most of all of this on this side is pressure canned food. I can't even hardly get to what's at the bottom because of stuff that I've had to just put out in the aisles of my closet, and it's driving me crazy, as well as all these jars that are at the end of the aisle. On the other side, I have so much stuff. More food, pressure canned and regular canned. I have spices, I have condiments, I have all kinds of buckets of grains that I need to do something with. I have on the other side more grains and everything. It's just the whole thing is a big mess. And I want to get all this organized so that I can find things, so that I can get in here easily. My vacuum cleaner's out in the middle of the aisle. It's driving me crazy and I can't take it anymore. All of these buckets stacked up. I need to do something to at least kind of get it more organized and to where I can get to things. I have all of these cookbooks right here. I use them all the time. I'm constantly coming in here to grab cookbooks, and it's just become this jumbled mess that I can't deal with. And so today is the day. Today's the day. I've got to get it done. It's driving me crazy. I knew I was in trouble when I had to start putting things in the aisles of my closet. All this junk has got to go. My strategy is to just take all the pressure canned items first and bring them into my kitchen. I'm just going to use all my counter space and everything to start organizing all this stuff and then go through it and see what I can cull. I'm going to be wiping down all the jars before I put anything back. But I just need to see what I have. I don't want to just rearrange chairs on the Titanic deck on these shelves. I want to get it all off, clean the shelves and everything, clean the jars, and really think about how to put all this back on. It's just important to me to get organized with this before my mom moves in her house and we have a lot of action going on around here. I want to get all this stuff straight. Yes, my kitchen is going to look like a dumping ground here shortly. It's going to be bad. Every surface is going to be covered with stuff I'm pulling off of these shelves. But I want to get the shelves dusted. I want to look and think and reevaluate how I have all this stuff just to see what can go, what needs to stay, but whatever stays has got to be organized. I really and truly am just feeling the crush to do this. It's so hot outside, I might as well stay inside and do this before my mom moves in, before my house gets even more chaotic, and get this done so that I can kind of rest better and sleep better, knowing I haven't let my closets and my storage space get chaotic. Because when there's chaos in my life, that's really what wears me down more than anything. So I want to clear this up. Here's what I found that I can cull so far. All of these jars are from 2022. And yes, I know that the pressure can food can stay good this long. It can stay good 4 years, no problem. But in 2022, I lived in another house in another part of our parish. And to me, this stuff is just old. I canned it to me ages ago when I lived a whole different life in another house. And I'm just ready to turn loose of it and get rid of it. I don't really want to open any of this and eat it because I know how long ago I canned it. And so I'm going to just let it go. I'm going to save my jars, but let the food go. The split pea ham soup over here, I just don't like. I've tried it. I thought I would like it, but I just don't. And it's from 2023. I'm not going to try to give it to anybody else because I just don't care for it. So it's got to go as well. It's just sometimes it's time for something to go. It didn't work. Start over, save your jars, and do something else. Now it's time to unload all the pressure can jars from my bedroom closet. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It's all I can do to get all these jars to put on the cabinet, come back, get more, go back and forth. I'm getting pretty darn good at it, but it's a process and it has to be done. About halfway through with doing all these jars, though, I started feeling like the thunder clouds were descending upon the earth. I just started feeling like, Lainey, what have you done? What have you started? But it was kind of too late to stop. I mean, I'd already pulled them all off the shelf. Well, not all. I've got more to go. But I just started looking around and I was like, oh my gosh. But all you can do is just keep going. I've got to get this done. I've got to get it organized for my sanity and just to keep food in right order so that I'll use it. It's a process. I haven't even started dealing with the canned goods yet. Right now, I'm just trying to focus on my pressure can stuff and get it all out. I have it in every little nook and cranny on all these shelves, and I really am surprised at how much stuff I have. A lot of the broths and stuff like that, though, I use them all the time. This is chicken broth I'm dealing with here. And I use it all the time, and I can it regularly because I save all my bones from all the organic chicken that I get at Azure. But a lot of things I forgot I had. This is pepper jelly I'm dealing with right here, and I forgot I even had that. So I need to pull these things out and use them. This, I believe, is the end. This is when I put it all out and I was done. And it pretty much took up my whole entire kitchen. One of my goals in all this is to try to get all of these grains together. Now, this is like yellow corn here. It's whole corn, but it's corn you can mill into grains or grits and for cornmeal or grits or whatever. And so to me, it's a grain. And even the jasmine rice and all that stuff. Anything that's in a bucket, I kind of want to put all together to where I can see it. But I have other things. This is whole barley that I have there, and you can use that in soups and stuff. The one in the middle is, I think, 5-grain cereal, which I didn't really care for, but I'm trying to figure out if there's another way to use it. Then next to that is something I just got the other day called golden flax. I'm going to try to start kind of implementing flax into as many things as I can because it's very good for you. I have a 5-pound box that I have in this Tupperware thing of Fall River wild rice. I have buckwheat groats, which I have not tried yet, but I need to. Over there, I think some spaghetti seasoning. I have a lot of seasoning quart jars too that I kind of need to get organized, but I'm not going to overwhelm myself today. That's another day. And down here, see, I forget about things. I had ordered a pound of parsley. Well, when you order a pound of parsley, you find out a pound of parsley is a lot because it doesn't weigh that much. So I had to put it in this Tupperware container and it filled it up. And so I just put it in here to keep it in here. But I need to get that out to where I use it all the time. So I'll just restate, one of my goals is to try to get all these buckets and all accessible to me very easily and all together with maybe some of these grains. I have more grains in another pantry cabinet like rye and stuff like that, hulled millet and all, or whole millet. And I would love to have those all together. I've just really got to kind of Tetris this and think it through. This whole thing, I know what's going to happen. It's going to end up me cleaning out my hall closet and rearranging all kind of stuff. And it's going to turn into this big ordeal. But that can't all be today. Today is just this. I decided to go ahead and just make a handwritten list of what pressure can foods that I have. I might type it up later and with some little check mark boxes or whatever so I can check things off as I use them. I just want to kind of have a little system, a little piece of paper somewhere that makes me know what I have and plan it into my meals so that I can use up a lot of this pressure can food, especially anything from 2023, 2024. So that's my goal. I'll get that done later though. Now that I've got all the pressure canned items sitting out on my cabinets and stuff, I need to go ahead and unload these two shelves of canned goods off of this big rack so that I can clean all the shelves and everything and get ready to kind of I think I'm going to put all my pressure can stuff here. I want to put it where I can see it every day when I walk in here. I think I'm going to put these big jars of pasta sauce with my pressure can food because they're big, heavy jars, just like the pressure can food is. And shoot, I looked over here and found some pressure can food right up in the middle of all my canned goods. That is deer meat that I canned in March of this year. I forgot about that. So I need to get this out of here, add it to what's on my cabinet. But going back to what I was saying, I think these big heavy jars of pasta sauce, they're going to be positioned with the pressure can stuff. It just makes sense to do that. I got that done. I think I'm going to leave all these spice mixes and stuff up here because I use them a lot and they're handy. Plus, I don't want to put any canned things up there that I can't reach very easily. That'll be way to the back. So I'm just going to leave those there. So that gives me 4 shelves that I can fill with pressure can food. And I think I'm going to put my chicken and beef broth down there, even though that's the area that I normally would kind of ignore because it's at the bottom. I actually use that chicken broth and beef broth constantly. So I know what I have. I recan it every now and then when I get chicken bones and stuff. I'm always adding to it and stuff. So this will be a workable shelf here because I use that so much. And then these 3 will be more in my view, and I'll put things there, hopefully, to work through them. I was able to get all of my chicken broth on the left side. I put all of my beef broth on the right side just so it won't all look mixed up to me. And then I was able to get all those bottles of pasta sauce in 2 rows, and then a row of my deer meat and a row of some beans that I have. Now I'm going to work on these rows and see how much I can fit on here in an organized way. I'm hoping I can get about 3/4 of this stuff on these shelves, but we're going to see. I don't know how it happened, but I did it. I got every pressure canned jar that was all over my cabinets and my table and everything. I got them all on this one rack. And nothing is stacked. Everything is single. But it just worked out perfect. I'm talking about perfect. This was the last one I did. And I have just a little space there. Otherwise, everything is on here. I'm so excited. And what I'm excited about is, I even found things I forgot I had and that I don't use very often, but I need to. So I'm going to make it my business to really start using the things that I had kind of ignored. I was surprised though. I did have a lot of stuff on my bar in there that is 2022, and then the split pea soup that I just didn't like. But other than that, I've gone through things pretty well. I wasn't finding anything in there older than that because I think a few years ago I did this and I made sure I used all of 2020s and 2021 stuff and got that gone. And actually on this rack, there's not that many 2023s. Most of this is 2024 and 2025. So that makes me feel good. It's going to be good for a while. I don't have to rush through it worrying about it or anything. But I am going to make myself plan my meals off of this stuff. I'm going to keep those lists and I'm going to do it. That's what I did with my 2021 and 2020 stuff. And I did stick with it and I used it up. So that's what I'm going to do with all this. But I can't believe I got it all on one rack. So that frees me up with those other shelves in there to really get my grains in order. I'm excited. Okay, I'm back in my closet. I had put all these condiment style things just on this edge not too long ago when I rearranged something else. It's a continual rearrangement. It's kind of neurotic, I guess, but you have to do this all the time when you have all this pressure can food and stuff. But anyway, so my next thing I'm going to do, and I'm sorry I don't film this and just show you every little thing I'm wiping down and all, but I'm kind of trying to work in between other things I'm doing, and I just need to get it done. So I'm going to do it, and then I'll show you the after product. But what I'm going to do is get in here and just wipe down all of these shelves. At the very bottom, you can't see it, but I have a big Magnolite pot. I only use it for certain things once a year. So it's under there. And then I have all my big bottles of vinegar that I use when I do pickles and stuff. That's under there. I'm leaving that. But the rest of it, I'm going to wipe down really good. And I think I can get all of my canned goods on this shelf. So if I can get all of my canned goods here, maybe with some room to spare, maybe, I'm going to be doing good. I'm going to be sitting pretty. So I'm getting really excited because I really thought that those pressure can goods were going to roll over into some of this space and I was going to be stretched. Let me tell you what kind of my ultimate reason for doing this is real quick. My house is neat, I promise. You're just seeing the bowels of it in my closet. But I promise you my house is straight. If you walk in, it's ready to go for company all the time. But in the very beginning, I showed you these two shelves full of food. This is in my little study closet. It used to be a bedroom for my son, but he moved out. And so it's a study now for me where I do a lot of my work and editing and all. And this is the closet. And my sister had given me this big wooden shelf. So I was like, cool, I can store food in here. But I still have a lot of my son's stuff that he left here. Now he's bought a home now. He's got 2 bedrooms that are not being used. And I think some of his stuff is going to go live with him, if you know what I mean. I don't think I need this big camouflage tent over here. And there's a TV. Behind the door is a whole lot of weights that I probably can't even hardly pick up, so that I don't need them. In that box is some other kind of tree stand. And I could go through all this little stuff here and tell you what's his. It's not really important, but I'm just trying to say all that stuff up there too. Okay, my goal and reason I'm even showing you this closet and all of this stuff is because when I eliminate all of his junk out of here, just all of this stuff, and I turn around and eliminate these 2 shelves of food, plus maybe another shelf or so of paperwork that I have in here. When I do that, I'm trying to make an extra storage space for my mom. She has a lot of clothes and stuff. And I think she could hang like winter coats and things in here on this side. And that'll relieve some of the pressure off of her closet. But also the shelves up here, since I'm not using them anyway, I mean, this is my son's stuff. If I can take all this to his house, then I can store things up here for her that she can lay in supplies of, like packs of toilet paper, packs of paper towels, things like that she needs. She may want to get while she can get a good sale or something, and she'll have an extra closet. I kind of proposed this to her, and I don't know if she understood what all I was saying as far as she didn't want me to have to go through all this trouble. But it's not really trouble. If I can get all my food organized and I can get all these canned goods on the black shelf that's in my closet that I just showed you, then and take all my son's stuff to him, then this closet just starts being freed up. All those shoes, my son has never even asked about those shoes. He's been gone for 2 years almost. So I'm going to ask him one last time, does he want all those shoes? If he doesn't, they're gone. A couple of these boxes I do have to keep. That's my mom's new TV. And this is our Starlink box with our Starlink information in it. So I got to keep that. But everything else in here can be gone. And then this could be her storage shed per se. We had thought about getting a little something to put on her porch that she could store extra things in. But why not use this closet if I can just get my food organized? And I'm thinking those thunder clouds that were looming when I had it all out a while ago have turned into a nice spring shower by me being able to put all that stuff of the pressure can on one shelf in my washroom. And if all this stuff can go on one shelf on one side of my closet, and I can really get that other side of my closet organized, I'm sitting pretty. And it helps me out too, because I'll be able to use things since they'll be more convenient to me, and they're not strewn all over my house in different closets to where I forget what's even there. So that's my goal and what started this ball rolling down the hill to begin with. Breaking news, breaking news. I don't know if these updates are as exciting for y'all as they are for me, but I did it. I got all my canned goods actually on 2 shelves. And on this 3rd shelf down here, I put my 2-gallon buckets with the gamma lids, and I have different things in them. And I got those from Azure, and I'm going to keep the 2-gallon buckets there. I still haven't filled in any of that gap down there at the bottom, but I will. This is an ice maker that I just bought, and so I didn't really have a place for it yet, so I stuck it there. I don't really need it, but it's for hurricanes or, just any type of situation where we're out of lights for a while. I can plug that into my solar generator and we can make ice. Trust me, when you don't have lights for 2-3 weeks or more after a hurricane, one of the things you miss the most is ice. And so I decided to just invest in a good ice maker. Makes 24 cubes at once, and we can kind of keep our ice going if we have to, for even not just for us to drink with things, but for maybe if I have to put some food under ice all of a sudden, if my fridge goes out or whatever, I'll have ice. But I'm not sure if that will fit down there without turning it sideways or whatever. I'm going to have to work on that, but I need to find somewhere to put that. I know it still looks a little messy in here, and some of that just can't get done today, but having all of my food basically on 2 different black shelves is phenomenal. I didn't even think it was possible. Now, what's next? What's next is the rest of this corner. And I took the 2-gallon buckets out, but I still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 7 of the 5-gallon buckets. I want to do something different with my cookbooks. I also have some cookbooks at the bottom of this shelf that you can't even see and I can't get to. So I want to do something with my cookbooks. But this shelf over here, the shelves are too close together for my cookbooks. Some of them will fit, but about 40% of them won't. It's not tall enough. So I'm going to have to figure that out. And then some things, just some of these juices that I got a while back from Azure, I just need to accept the fact I'm not a big juice drinker, and I can't seem to get through them. And some of them has sat here and expired, so probably going to throw all that away. This is really not a lot to organize. Things like this down here is distilled water that I have to have for my golf cart to put in the batteries. So I just keep things like that in here. It makes me feel like I have junk all in my closet, but it's necessary. It's not that much to organize. Mostly, it's just a matter of trying to figure out the best way to utilize this little shelf system here. I put those condiments there. That might not be the best way to utilize it, though. I think those condiments need to go down there. And then some of the items that are on this shelf over here can come here. And I'm going to figure it out from there. I don't really know. I don't really know. This box here looks like junk, but it's not. It's full of things like roasted bell peppers, sun-dried tomatoes, capers, things like that. I don't use all that stuff very often, but if it's not expired and stuff, I don't want to throw it away because you never know when you're going to have a recipe that needs it. This container up here is full of spices. Mostly, a lot of it is pickling spices and things, citric acid and stuff that I can use for canning. Some of it's just duplicate and triplicate of things I already have. I don't want to throw spices away, especially canning spices, but I don't use a lot of that very often. So I don't know. That whole tub there is what I'm saying may be able to be just shoved down here and out of the way. And then one of these 5-gallon buckets that's not extremely heavy, like maybe my rolled oats or something, can sit up there. I'm just trying to get everything off of the aisle to where I actually feel like I can walk back here, grab clothes, and get to my cookbooks, which I use a lot. It's a possibility to just move some of this around, but that's a pretty big endeavor. I'm going to see what I can get accomplished without doing that. It's finished. It's finished. It may not be the sleek, well-organized thing I want it to be, but it's working better for me. I took out the buckets that were in that corner there, and I put one at the end here, and I put one down there on the floor. I was able to move a bucket up to here as well took all that other stuff off and put it down there. So basically this is a big condiment and extra spice organized space. I put my distilled waters behind there. I don't need them that often, and I'll know where they are when I do need them. This is empty here because I can open these drawers when I need to open those drawers. So I've got 3, 4, 5, I've got 7. I've got all 7 of these over here, my 2-gallon ones behind me. I took my cookbooks and I was able to get these across here. Now this is the cookbooks I've kept after culling many cookbooks. So I wanted to fit them all here, and that's pretty much all I have. I don't buy cookbooks too much anymore, and if I do get it to where this isn't working, I'll just get rid of some of them and keep what I want to keep. But this was the only shelf on this thing that had a little crossbar on it, so it'll keep the cookbooks from falling off. All the other shelves were open at the end. So got cookbooks there. I put my tall ones here, and then I put my food dehydrator here. It had been up in that corner next to my grain mill, but I put that suitcase thing up there. And what that is, and the reason it's there, that I have to have it, is because that's our go bag should we ever have to go to the hospital or something. If Richard has an emergency or there's any kind of emergency and we've got to jump and run, I've got a go bag packed with toiletries, a couple of changes of clothes for us if we need that, all of his medical information and all that stuff. But that doesn't need to be down here in my way, so I put it up there, and I put my dehydrator here because with basil and stuff growing, I do use that more. So there's things down at the bottom that I don't need to get to. This is a comforter and there's stuff at the very bottom that I never worry about, so that's no problem. I just put things down there. And so anyway, I just went ahead and organized. I wasn't able to completely have an area just for grains yet. I'm saying that because when you're just organizing a couple of areas, you may not have it, but then later on, as I organize other things, it may open up some space. So right now, I'll just keep those grains together. I added a few more food items down here, but the rest of it is just batter mixes and things like that. But this will work for me. And the thing is, I moved my vacuum cleaner over, so now I have a straight shot to my clothes and a straight shot to getting to my cookbooks and stuff when I need it. I wish I had a 20 by 20 closet or something, but I don't. This is 5 foot by 15 feet, and I have to make it be a pantry. I have to make it hold our clothes. I have to have excess things in here that just don't fit anywhere else in the house. And like the bottled waters, I don't want all that in my kitchen and stuff, so I keep it in here. I have a barbecue pit over there. I have all kind of things in here. I do try to stay organized. My clothes are actually very organized. I'm not going to show y'all that, but my clothes are very organized. I know where everything is, and I've got it: pants, t-shirts, dress shirts, dressy things, on and on. I've got Richard's done the same way. So that side of the closet's not a problem. What was killing me was all of this. And of course, all of this. I do leave that kind of messy up there because those are big metal pans and I don't know where else to put them. And I use them. I use them all the time. Some of them even have holes in them, but I use them for different things that I'm doing where I don't care if it has a hole in it. I just kind of hold on to metal pans all the time. The back side of that has some more pans and some really big bowls that just don't fit in my cabinets. Sometimes you just have to have a space to put some crud like that, so I do. And but anyway, now all of my canned goods are together, and I'm not buying another canned good until I go through some of this stuff and really knock this back. Some of this even I ordered from Azure, and it's just been sitting here, and that's no sense in that, you know. I mean, it's not cheap. It's good for us. It's good food, and I need to be using it. It's kind of most of the time just me and Richard, so I'm not going through food as fast as I used to, but yet my sense to stock up and be ready and prep and all was still going strong. So I do have a lot of food put back and stuff, even though we're not eating it as much. So I need to kind of just eat a lot of this stuff we have and get it kind of gone and get it to where I could use, even just say I freed up this third shelf here. You know, I could free that up maybe for something else later that is clogging up my closet. I wasn't able to do much with my jars yet. I found one box when I throughout those juices I was telling you about a while ago, I found one box that I could put a few jars in. The reason I have so many of these jars kind of collecting here is because I've been keeping a lot of jars lately, washing the labels off and keeping them because I need them with these lids that just kind of come with them, so that it saves me from having to buy lids at the store, because I've been buying so many spices from Azure and I've been buying them in bulk. And so I just need jars to put them in with a good tight lid. I don't need lids and rims like I do for canning. And it's cheaper just to keep a jar that you emptied out, wash the label off, and reuse it for these spices to put them in. So I'm kind of becoming a little granny here collecting jars. And I've really, with that, when you add it to the cases I already had, because as we do use some of our pressure can stuff, it just creates more jars laying around for me. And if I'm not going to be pressure canning as much because I'm wanting to go through what I already have, so every time I use one, it's going to add a jar to this pile. So I've got to do something. I either need to just go ahead and cull some, even though that goes against everything that I've learned the last few years with prepping and all. But I need to either just cull some or find a better space to put them, or even, do it to where it's going up higher and higher. I just need some more boxes to be able to stack it with, and I guess I'll figure that out, as I go. We just got back from an afternoon drive. It's 7:20 in the evening. I just wanted to show you that my house is back in order, except for the 63 jars on my bar that I've got to process and get rid of the food. There's reasons for everything that's laying there. It's some of it is not just waste. It's just that it didn't come out right, and I'm not gonna keep it anymore. I'm just gonna start over. But I'm gonna process through all that and throw it away. But I just wanted to let you know that my house doesn't always look as bad as it did in those parts of it that I showed you today where I store my food. Most of the time, my house is pretty nice and neat, and this is a good way to finish the day. But it's made me want to clean out more things. I think I'll look at that hall closet. Maybe that's my next project. This is Lainey at Hilltop Home Place. I better let y'all go. Bye-bye.